Hi everyone. So we're coming towards the end of the growing year now. Now what I wanted to do today was to go over a few things regarding how to prepare your garden for winter. Now here is a eupatorium, also called Joe Pye weed. There's lovely purple flowers during the summer. Probably starting about June, and they'll go over and by about now anyway. Now plants have been suffering a bit this year with the drought we've had and everything, but generally I'd say that if you wanted to know how to look after a plant over winter, you've got to think about, is this thing an evergreen? And also, well, obviously if it's an evergreen you don't want to touch it, but if it's something that will die back over the winter, think about where new growth comes from. Now with this eupatorium, I will cut this right down to the ground because the new growth comes from the base. Now in contrast, this has really suffered for the hot summer we've had, but as a general rule of thumb with hydrangeas, what you want to do is leave the flower heads intact over the winter, because they do offer some protection against frost. Now obviously in January, February, March even, what you can do, you can figure out where new growth's going to come from, which will generally be there. I mean, the flower stalks will go all woody, so you'll know when to cut them off. What else? With hydrangeas, although the hydrangea Annabelle does grow from the ground up, so if you really want to cut it back, you can be a little bit more brutal. But with your common or garden mop head hydrangeas, such as those, you want to leave them on the stem, so that any new buds which will form around there in the spring, and that's where the new growth will come from. These gloxinias, not entirely sure how they're going to perform next year. I mean, they tend to produce so many flowers. I mean, look at that, isn't that lovely? And they're only like £1.50 per bulb, and there's a white one here. There you go, nice white one. I got these from Harrogate Flower Show in the spring, and they've performed all right, although they've got some really weird growing habits. I thought they'd be more bushy than they are. Probably something that I've done anyway. And if you like pretty foliage, think about caladiums. I picked these up from Dobby's Garden Centre. They were £12.99. I picked them up for £2.99 each, and they come in all different sorts of colours. They're really pretty. Again, you can grow these yourself. You probably want to start them off April time, somewhere where there's going to be nice high humidity, good light and warmth. So this polytunnel is absolutely perfect for them. And this Tiburtina is native to, I believe, Mexico, certainly South America. It won't survive our winters, so you want to bring it inside ideally. It's a shrub, so you can give it a haircut before you bring it inside. Put it somewhere where it's not going to drop below 10 degrees centigrade Celsius. Another plant that's going to grow disappear underground over the winter are hostas. Now you can see these ones are dying back now. The leaves are all yellow, and so therefore they're not going to be sustaining the plant with anything really, so you can cut them off. I mean, I dug this one up. I mean, if you look closely down there, I mean, you could, 1, 2, 3, you could divide that into little pieces. Always good to do that because the crown can get quite congested and it doesn't flower as well. Again, this is the Hydrangea Annabelle. As you can see, the leaves are starting to go yellow, but don't touch it until spring. And this is quite an old Sarracenia carnivorous plant. I mean, if you want, you can dissect these big pitchers and see what they've been feeding on today, this year. They'll die back as well. But with any carnivorous plant, generally, not always, do your own research, but they need a nice cold winter. Doesn't matter if they get frozen, doesn't matter, they'll love it. If they're not given a good winter, they don't tend to perform as well next year, and if it's continued, then you probably lose them after a while. Now this, believe it or not, I don't know if it's a colocasia or an alocasia. I think 1 point's down, 1 point's up, this part. Anyway, my daughter bought these as tubers from a Chinese supermarket in town. And they produce really big leaves. So if you're looking for something else to go in your tropical garden, have a think about those. They cost a fraction of what they would do online. Just go into your Chinese supermarket and ask for taro. And these peonies are starting to discolour now. So again, you can cut those down to the ground too. So there we are, just a few bits from the garden, and hope you have a good weekend. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.